Alright, so today we're going to be turning fabric into paper, so that way we can use it to wrap boards for bookbinding. This also works for a bunch of other things, but the simple idea is fabric is rude and doesn't want to adhere to boards, especially fancy fabric like this fake fur here. Fake leather works as well. Doesn't want to attach to boards in the way you want it to for bookbinding. There's an official, technical, traditional way of doing this, and I'm like, I don't know really. So I found a way to using HeatBond to attach fabric to paper, specifically tissue paper, so that way we can use it to cover book boards. So first thing you need, fabric, whatever you want. Cotton works easier, but this is HeatBond. This is the actual glue that we're going to be using to attach everything. Some tissue paper, I got this from a Hallmark store. A see-through ruler helps, but normal rulers are fine. Rotary cutter's fine. Something to adhere your glue with. I use a printmaking thing. You're going to need a towel and an iron for ironing purposes. And then I got a couple boards just to show you how it's done with attaching it to the boards. It's not really anything different than anything you've done before. The fabric's the special part. So first thing, make yourself a little ironing board. I have a piece of wood and a towel because I don't have an ironing board and I refuse to get one. And then go ahead and just take your fabric out and iron it. You can use moisture on this point if you want. I'm not going to show you how to iron something. Alright, now here comes actual fun fancy parts. So get your fabric smoothed out as best as you can. This is the HeatBond. There's two sides to it. There's a rough side and a shiny side. What we're going to do is we want the shiny side to face down towards the fabric like that. Alright? It's very important. Don't go the other way. You're going to ruin your iron. So go ahead and cut your length however good you are at doing that. Shiny side down. And what you're going to be doing is you're heating the glue to the fabric. Simple, right? Takes a little bit, so I fast forwarded. Now tearing the paper off is an absolute delight. The backing paper will remove, and then the sticky part will stay. This is going to be your glue. And just try to remove all of it. Sometimes it just doesn't rip off super easily, and I don't know why. I've done this so much, and it doesn't matter. It's chaos. There's no reliable way to get it off every time. I'm sure someone's going to go, well, actually, if you refrigerate, I don't care, bro. It's never going to work for me. It's over. Anyway, get your tissue paper out. And you want your tissue paper to extend past your fabric because we don't want to hit our iron at all with the glue part of the HeatBond. We don't want that. That's not good. So go ahead and just try to get as many wrinkles out at first, and then you're going to start in the middle, and you're going to slowly iron towards the corners. So the glue is melting now to the tissue paper, turning basically the fabric into paper. And that's basically it right there. Super easy, right? You can use all sorts of materials against their intended purpose. But let's go ahead and see how it looks attaching the fabric and cutting it down and turning it into boards. So go ahead and cut where your glue is. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't try to maximize this. Just make sure it's nice and square still. And then since I'm working with 6 by 9 inch boards, I'm going to need 7 by 10 inch fabric. So that way I have a 1/2 inch to wrap around on the outside. Once you have your fabric, feel good about your life, go ahead and get the rest of your materials out. I have some. So the board is going to go into the middle of the paper. So go ahead and do an outline. You can measure it to be more official, just 1/2 inch in on the side. That'll give you the full inch extra margin. Very simple. Draw with a piece of, a pencil or something. Don't use a pen. I don't know why you do that. But this way the board's going to go right into the middle. Get your glue out. Dick Blick glue does weirdly, make spiderweb textures. I don't understand, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. And then roll your glue out on whatever you have. I just had some freezer paper there. Roll on one quick thin coat. Remember, you don't want to saturate it. You don't want to be gloopy. And then go ahead and just plop it right on down inside of that guide that you drew. The little box. You do have a little bit of wiggle room in case something doesn't perfectly work out, so you can just kind of yeep, slide it to the side, and then knead it like a cat to smooth out all the air bubbles, and then weigh it down You can use that this time to work on a separate one because you need to do 2 of them ultimately, right? All right, so go ahead and fold the paper in just to get a little initial crease. It'll help you out. Yeah, that's it. The rest of the video is fast forwarded, but we're going to take our time here. I don't know why. All right, so once you have the fabric get a nice crease there, it's going to make it easier for it to glue down. So you're going to glue just onto the edge of that roller, as you can see there, and then you can give it the old bloop. Make sure you do sound effects or it won't work. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm flipping and I'm pushing, using the leverage of the board to hold it down. Repeat on the other side. And again, there's like super official ways to do this, but I don't know. Give it some weight. Weight is important. Try to be a huge person. It'll make it. I'm just kidding. It doesn't really matter. All right, go ahead and cut the corners off as you've seen before. You're just getting rid of that little bit of extra. It doesn't have to be perfect even. I don't really. Just try to cut off that little bit of extra. Boop. Now, alternatively, if you're like, hey, K-Dog, I don't have a ruler. Well, don't call me K-Dog. And grab yourself a brush, and you can use brush to apply the glue. That might work better for you. I don't know your life. Same thing. Fold it. Hold it. Slather it in there. And then fold it and hold it. One last thing you need to do is you need to fit this piece of paper into that. And that will require a lot of precision and patience. So give yourself a little practice first. So get your glue out. You're going to roll a really thin amount. And what you're going to do here, go fast. You don't have time. You never have time. So got the glue on. I'm fighting everything against me. Nothing's going to work out. But then, since I did that practice, it all mashed up in the end. And that's it. Cool, right? Now you got your own fabric board to cover your book. You can also do this in a lot of different ways. This is one without holes. You can do it for Coptic binding. You can do it for end around, so you can have 2 boards glued together through the fabric. There's so many options available once you start messing around with this. And go ahead and give yourself a little bit of extra time. Take a look and see how they look. Feel good about your life. Feel good about your decisions. And you're going to stack them together, and you are going to weigh them down for a little bit because they're wet right now. They want to buckle. See you next time.